Golden Iris Productions presents What Jesus Really Said, The Words of Jesus from the King James, by Mark F. Dennis. Preface. For centuries, the gospel of Jesus Christ has been preached throughout the world. His teachings have been taught in nearly every language, dialect, and nation, astonishing the wise and humbling the proud. Christ's wisdom has been praised through the centuries and exalted not only in Christendom, but also in almost every religion that exists today. Although not much is written in Jewish writings about Christ, Jesus was believed to be considered a rabbi by many Jews and a loving and gracious teacher who helped pave the path for the Messiah. Today, many Muslims also respect and revere Jesus as one of the greatest of God's prophets, the servant of Allah, treating his name to be holy and believing in the virgin birth. Buddhists also have a great deal of respect for Jesus Christ and his teachings, revering the Bible as a sacred book. Many Hindus likewise see Jesus as a holy man, sadhu, or saint, and revere his words as sacred text. To the Hindu, the Sermon on the Mount and turning the other cheek are very much appreciated, harmonizing with their non-violence teachings. Mahatma Gandhi, in fact, believed that if Christians would really live by the teachings of Jesus Christ, that all of India would inevitably become Christian. It is the Christ of the Christian that these religions of the world greatly admire, not the Christians of the Christ. Christians throughout the centuries have tarnished the name of Christ, waging war against the Jews and Muslims during the Crusades of the 7th century in the name of Christ. In recent years, during the First and Second World Wars, it was Christians against Christians in battle, and in more recent years, Catholics against Protestants in Northern Ireland, killing each other in the name of Jesus Christ. Is it possible that we as Christians don't hear the words of Jesus or really know what he taught? Is it possible that other religions see what we as Christians don't see? Maybe it's about time we discovered what Jesus really said.
Introduction to the Gospels. The Gospels, or the first 4 books of the Christian New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, were all written after Jesus' death, which occurred around 30 AD. Matthew was apparently the first book written at about 50 AD, 20 years after Christ's death, followed by Luke 10 years later, around 60 AD, and Mark written about 70 AD. Many of the stories in these first 3 books, also known as the Synoptic Gospels, are almost identical in word, having a lot of similarities, however, chronologically are somewhat quite different. The book of John seems to be written sometime later, possibly around 1890 AD, perhaps as much as 60 years after Christ's death. The book of John is written seemingly from a totally different perspective, focusing on Christ's teachings, presenting Jesus as the Son of God, rather than outlining his life as the Synoptic Gospels did.
These 4 books are named after their authors. The first, Matthew, also known as Levi, although a Jew, was rather wealthy and worked for the Romans as a tax collector. He was despised by the Jews and considered as a sinner by Pharisees, the elite Jewish religious leaders of that day. Matthew was one of the 12 apostles who followed Jesus throughout his 3-year ministry. Mark, also known as John Mark, and not one of the 12. He was mentioned in St. Paul's writings to the Colossians and traveled with Paul on his first missionary journey to Cyprus and what is modern-day Turkey. Mark's mother Mary was a prominent figure in the early days of the Christian church, as her house served as a meeting place for the early Christians. Luke was not a Jew, and also was not one of the 12 apostles. Luke is believed to be a Greek physician who was converted to Christianity through the Apostle Paul's ministry. Luke also was the writer of the New Testament book of Acts. John, a fisherman by trade, was also one of the 12 apostles who followed Jesus. John also wrote the 3 epistles of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John and the book of the Revelation, the last book of the Bible. The following was drawn from the King James Version of the Holy Bible and applied as a poetic composition.
Although the 7th century English text is largely adhered to for aesthetic reasons, some segments have been modernized in order to bring better understanding to the reader. In loving memory of my father, Richard L. Dennis, who dedicated his life to Jesus Christ as a missionary of 20 years, serving the Lord in the foreign mission field of Japan.
These are the words of Jesus. Matthew chapters 22 through 24. Parable of the marriage feast. The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants and entreated them spitefully, and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies, and destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then saith he to his servants, The wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways, and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he saith unto him, Friend, how came thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Lawful to give to Caesar. Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. Whose is this image and superscription? Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. Jesus addresses the Sadducees. Ye do err, not knowing the Scriptures, or the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry, nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living.
The greatest commandment. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Is the Christ of David? Matthew. How then doth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool. If David then calls him Lord, how is he his son? Who the Pharisees really are. The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid ye observe, that observe and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries, and enlarge the borders of their garments, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But are not ye called Rabbi? For one is your Master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. Neither are ye called masters, for one is your Master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses, and for pretence make long prayer. Therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, Whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing, but whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctifies the gold? And whosoever shall swear by the altar, it is nothing, but whosoever swears by the gift that is upon it, he is guilty. Ye fools and blind, for whether is greater, the gift or the altar that sanctifies the gift? Whoso therefore shall swear by the altar swears by it, and by all things thereon. And whoso shall swear by the temple swears by it, and by him that dwells therein. And he that shall swear by heaven swears by the throne of God, and by him that sits thereon. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, which the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto white sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanness. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets, and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, If we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye are witnesses unto yourselves, that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets, and wise men, and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. O Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stones them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down.
End times. Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the entire world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso reads, let him understand. Then let them which are in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shines even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wherever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
This has been Matthew, chapters 22 through 24.